Presidency explains why 1,411 Nigerians accompanying Tinubu to Dubai. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Please subscribe to our channel. The presidency has explained why 1,411 Nigerian delegates accompany President Bola Tinubu to the ongoing COP28 holding in Dubai. Immediately I read the headlines, I was like, this is right about time they come outside and told us the issue. The news in detail, please. According to the Senior Special Assistant to the President in Media and Publicity, Temitope Ajayi, not all Nigerians at the event were sponsored by the federal government. In the article titled Nigeria at COP28, Separating the Facts from Fiction, Mr. Ajayi said the Nigerian delegation includes business leaders, environmentalists, climate activists, and journalists. The presidential aide did not, however, state the exact number of delegates being funded by the government, amid speculations that about 600 are government-funded. Ajayi's statement reads in full, and I quote, "The number of delegates from Nigeria attending the ongoing climate summit in Dubai, otherwise called COP28, has generated a lot of controversies and strong social media conversation in the last 24 hours. It is important to see this set the record straight and provide some clarity. To begin with, the summit is tagged COP, which means Convention of Parties. The ongoing summit in Dubai, with over 97,000 delegates from more than 100 countries around the world, is the 28th in the series since the issue of climate change and action took preeminent stage in global affairs. COP27 took place at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt last year, when the world comes together to take action on achieving a common goal and prefer collective solutions to a nagging global concern. There are parties involved from government, private sector, civil society, media, and multilateral institutions. The people coming together to advance a different agenda and interest from government, businesses, and civil societies are the parties to the convention who represent various shades of opinion and pushing for various mitigating actions. In Nigeria, like so many other countries, interested parties comprising government officials from both the federal and subnational government, business leaders, environmentalists, climate activists, and also journalists are present in Dubai. Also participating are agencies of the government such as the NNPC and its subsidiaries, Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, NEMASA, NDDC. Many youth organizations from Nigeria, especially from the northern and Niger Delta regions, whose lives and livelihoods are most impacted by desert encroachment and hydrocarbon activities, are also represented. The president of Ijaw Youth Council, Jonathan Lokbobiri, leads a pan-Ijaw delegation of more than 15 people who registered as parties from Nigeria. Among delegates from Nigeria are also over 20 journalists from various media houses. Their participation is very important. It is not for jamboree, as it is being said mischievously, as it is being mischievously represented on social media. It is important to state here that delegates from all parties, whether from the government, private sector, media, civil society groups, attend COP summit and conferences as parties, and a number of attendees are registered against their countries of origin. This does not mean that they are sponsored or funded by the government. It must be said also that the fact that people register to attend the conference does not mean everyone that registered is physically present. As the biggest country in Africa, biggest economy, and one with the biggest stake in climate action, as a country with huge extractive economy, it is a no-brainer that delegates from Nigeria were more than any other country in Africa. Among the delegates from Nigeria are UBA Chairman Toli Elumelu, Abdul Samad Rabiu, Chairman of Boa Group, and other billionaires whose businesses are promoting sustainability and climate action through their philanthropies. These businessmen and women and their staff who came with them to promote their own interests are part of the 1,411 delegates from Nigeria. The trip to Dubai is not funded by the federal government. United Nations Climate Summit, by its very nature, commands the attendance of big names from across the world, statesmen and women, politicians, lawmakers, corporate titans, journalists, and activists, etc., who promote big global agenda. So people attend the summit for many reasons, And because climate issue is the biggest global issue of the moment, it is not surprising that over 97,000 people, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India, King Charles of the United Kingdom, Prime Minister of Netherlands, Mark Rutte, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, U.S. Special Envoy on Climate Change and former Secretary of State John Kerry, President Bola Tinubu, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, World Bank President Ajay Banga, International Monetary Fund President Kristalina Georgieva, World Trade Organization Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Africa Development Bank President Akinwumi Adesina, former U.S. Vice President and Nobel Peace Prize winner AI Gore, and almost 100 head of state and government converged on Dubai for COP28. It is the first of its kind in the history of a summit because of the importance of the climate change to global well-being. After the opening and national statement by heads of state, which began from November 30, when the summit opened and up until Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, the real work of COP28, which are the technical section of negotiations, financing, etc., will begin from Monday, December 4th till December 12th, where arrangement to be reached on many proposals for consideration and ratification by the parties. Those with sufficient understanding and knowledge on climate matters knows that issues around the subject have layers of multiplicity of factors that requires experts from various fields that are lined up technical sessions on financing climate actions at subnational levels, regions and local government. State governors from Nigeria such as Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State, Omoeno of Akwa Ibom have been really busy with the officials at COP28, making presentations, speaking at panel sessions, and pitching some of the sustainability projects to development partners and investors. Multifaceted stakeholders from different countries, including Nigeria, are on ground in Dubai because they do not want the decision that will affect them to be taken without pushing their own agenda. It is the reason delegates from China and Brazil are over 3,000 respectively. China is one of the world's biggest polluters and Brazil is at the center of global climate debate with the Amazon rainforest. These two countries know important decisions that will affect them will be taken, and they have to move everything to be fully on ground and ensure that they are fully represented by their best brains at every level of discussion and negotiation. Like former President Muhammadu Buhari and other African leaders who demanded fair deal on climate justice for Africa at previous UN climate summit, President Tinubu is leading the charge at COP28 on behalf of Nigeria and the rest of the continent, demanding from the West that any climate decision and action must be fair and just to Africa and Nigeria in particular, especially the debate around energy transition. President Tinubu has been unequivocal in his position that Africa that is battling problems of poverty, security, and struggling to provide education and healthcare to our people cannot be told to abandon its major source of income, which is mostly from extractive industry, without the West providing the funding and investment in alternative and clean energy sources. Now, this is what I'm going to say. There is nothing that these people say that will make sense to Nigerians because these people have been spending extravagantly. They have been spending as if we are in the era where Govt came out to said that Nigeria has so much money that we should be looking for how to spend it. You remember that time in 1990 what? In 1960 something, Abi? No, is it 1980 something? I can't remember the year. But Govt came out to say that period they had that festival of culture and arts now that produced this what's it called? Festival at Lagos. There is nothing this government will say because they have lost all the trust the citizens has for them. Alright, on this note, we've come to the end of the news. So thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I call you away next time, enjoy the rest of your day.